of 6 members led by Honorable Advocate Jacob Francis Nzudamililo Modenda, Speaker of the National Assembly. May we also recognize clerks and secretaries generals of member parliaments here present who are among us. The SADC Parliamentary Forum Secretariat. Last but not least, all the staff from member parliaments and the Parliament of the United Republic of Tanzania, our host. Your Excellency, the parliaments of Madagascar, Mauritius, and Mozambique send apologies of absence. At this point, Your Excellency, we also have, these are 9 Arusha regional representatives. May they kindly rise. 6 IPU representatives. We have 7 Commonwealth Parliamentary Association representatives. We have 5 Great Lakes representatives. We also have 3 ACP EU representatives. We also have among us 61 members of parliament of the United Republic of Tanzania. Invited guests, Master of Ceremony, allow me also to introduce distinguished guests from our cooperating partners that the SADC Parliamentary Forum has invited to the plenary assembly. And I wish to request them to kindly also rise for the benefit of our guest of honor as I call out your name. Dr. Roba Sharamo, who is representing International IDEA. Mr. Dercio Alfazema and Mr. Egidio Vaz, representing Institute para Democracia Multipartidarian, IMD of Mozambique. Mr. Joseph Ngwawi, representing SADC, based in Harare. Mr. Joab Okanda, Action Aid, Pan-African Senior Advocacy Advisor. Mr. John, oh, he's present, thank you very much. Mr. John Vutoi, Arasa representative. Thank you. Director of Ceremonies, Your Excellencies, and distinguished delegates, permit me to conclude by thanking the government and the Parliament of the United Republic of Tanzania, through you, Honorable Dr. Tulia Ackson, our host speaker, for graciously hosting the SADC Parliamentary Forum, 53rd Plenary Assembly Session in this beautiful city of Arusha. I wish all distinguished delegates fruitful deliberations. I thank you, asante sana.
Thank you, Madam SG. I now invite on stage the Parliament Choir to perform a special song that has been prepared for this occasion. Parliament Choir, please.
the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, dear honorable ministers present here, dear honorable members of parliament from SADC member countries, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you. We are humbly inviting you to this land, the land that is credible of humankind. Welcome to the land of the highest peak in Africa, and only peak with ice in Africa, Mount Kilimanjaro.
Welcome to the vast plains of the great Serengeti, with the trek of the immense wildebeest earth. Welcome to the largest mammal migration on earth. Welcome to the Ngorongoro crater, a natural wonder of the world, with its unique formation. Formed about 2 million years ago, the world's 8th natural wonder. Welcome to the best white sand beaches of the Zanzibar archipelago. Welcome to explore Tanzania, the land rich of wildlife on earth. Welcome home, Tanzania, where everyone feels heaven on earth.
Welcome to Arusha. Welcome to Tanzania.
Let's go!
Agriculture, habit of Africa. Agriculture, habit of SADC. We need to modernize agriculture for the economic growth, reduction of poverty and food insecurity for the development of SADC. Agriculture, heartbeat of Africa, with abundance of natural resources, an ever-growing labor force and arable land, an ever-growing labor force and arable land. SADC, SADC, let us modernize our agriculture. SADC, SADC, let us modernize our agriculture. SADC revive agriculture through promoting the role of private sectors, adapting products, enhancing technology, guaranteeing food market, and improve income for farmers. Oh yeah! Agriculture, heartbeat of Africa, with abundance of natural resources, an ever-growing labor force and arable land, an ever-growing labor force and arable land. SADC, SADC, let us modernize our agriculture. SADC, SADC, let us modernize our agriculture.
Tanzania,
Modernize your agriculture. 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 SADC, SADC, let us modernize our
Thank you, Parliament Choir. You may now go and take your seats. Your Excellence, this choir is made up of staff from the Office of the National Assembly. The next item is the statement of the Regional Women Parliamentary Caucus Chairperson, Honorable Regina Esperon.
Our guest of honor, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, SADC PF President and Speaker of the National Assembly of the Republic of Seychelles, Honorable Rosie Mancienne, Honorable Speaker of National Parliament, Head of Delegation, distinguished delegates, good afternoon. Allow me to stand on the already established protocol in interest of time. It is an honor for me to address this august gathering as the chairperson of the Regional Women Parliamentary Caucus of SADC Parliamentary Forum. The convening of the 53rd Plenary Assembly session presents us yet another crucial moment to introspect on the stride we have made in promoting gender equality, empowering women, and championing women's rights within our nation, across the region, and on a global scale. Guests of honor and distinguished delegates, despite global efforts, women continue to face discrimination and remain significantly underrepresented in politics and decision-making roles. The most recent data on Sustainable Development Goals, SDG 5, shows that the world is not yet on track to achieve gender equality by 2030. The United Nations Women Gender Snapshot of 2022, which assesses progress in gender equality across the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, provide a harsh awakening, revealing that with the current pace, it would take another 286 years to eradicate discriminatory laws and close the gap in legal protection for women and girls. While the Global Gender Gap Report 2023, released just a few days ago by the World Economic Forum, demonstrates that the gender gap close to date is only 68.2% for the sub-Saharan Africa compared to 76.3% for Europe. Furthermore, for political participation, the gender gap has only been closed by 22.6%, demonstrating that there is a momentous effort to be made to empower women for political career. These observations underscore the urgent need for accelerated action to achieve true gender equality and ensure the rights and well-being of all. Guests of honor and distinguished delegates. In the SADC region, some member states have made commendable strides in implementing legislative and other measures to reduce gender equality. However, a recent region-wide study on challenges for women political participation in SADC countries 2023, conducted by our own forum, the SADC PF, revealed a perturbing reality where it indicated that barriers that were identified over the past decade, which hindering women's progress toward top position in politics and decision-making at all levels, continues to persist today. Given the emerging challenges such as cyber violence against women and girls, gender injustice resulting from climate change, and prolonged conflicts such as mass migration and internal displacement that perpetuates gender gap. Ladies and gentlemen, it is evident that the situation is bound to worsen unless these novel challenges are addressed along the stride. In this respect, we have welcomed the SADC model law on gender-based violence, which gives a broad definition to GBV, such that it can encapsulate all forms of violence against women, including cyber violence. Besides the revelation on women integration in the socio-economic landscape, highlight the need to take immediate and collective action to ensure that women have equal opportunity for leadership and full participation in decision-making at all levels for political, economic, and public life. Bearing in mind that failing to do so will hinder our progress in achieving gender parity in the region by 2030. As parliamentarians, we have a unique opportunity to accelerate gender equality and empower women in the SADC region by advocating for the adoption of relevant model law, which has been adopted by SADC-PF to protect the rights of women and girls, such as the SADC model law on eradicating child marriage and protecting children already in marriage, as well as the SADC model law on gender-based violence. We can actively contribute to the noble cause. Guests of honor, distinguished delegates. In Africa, women continue to be underrepresented in key decision-making roles. The African Gender Barometer 2021 reveals that women hold only 22% of cabinet positions, 12% of the top party functionary position, and a mere 7% of high-level political executive positions, including president, vice president, prime ministers, and deputy prime ministers. Given these alarming statistics, there is an urgent need to intensify effort and transformative action to overcome the barrier that impedes women empowerment and hinders the achievement of gender equality. The upcoming wave of presidential and parliamentary elections in the SADC region in the next 2 years offers us a chance to translate promises into actions. There is a need for women to be equally represented as candidates to election, as elected MP, as ministers in cabinets, and even as stakeholders coordinating or observing the electoral process. Let us ensure that gender equality is not rhetoric, but a tangible reality in our respective countries and the entire SADC region. Guests of honor and distinguished delegates, I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to Tanzania for setting a remarkable example with the appointment of Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan as President of the United Republic of Tanzania. Her esteemed leadership serves as an inspiration and testimony to the progress we can achieve when women are given the opportunity to excel in the higher position of power in spite of challenges just because we are women. Guests of honor and distinguished delegates, the theme of the 53rd Plenary Assembly, Modernizing Agriculture for Food Security and Youth Employment in SADC, Role of Parliament, hold greater significance for women in our region. Food insecurity remains a critical challenge, particularly affecting women and children, due to factors such as climate change-induced drought, which some of you often face. According to a report on the Food and Agricultural Organization of the UN on the status of women in agri-food system, released in 2023, as high as 66% of women employment in sub-Saharan Africa are in agri-food system. By prioritizing agricultural modernization, we can address the unique barrier faced by women. in the agricultural sector. This will empower women, not ensuring food security alone, but nutritional sufficiency and economic benefit in the SADC region. Guests of honor and distinguished delegates. Agriculture is the foundation of most of our economy, supporting the livelihood of the majority of our population. And women's vital role in the agricultural sector, especially in rural areas, cannot be overstated. They serve as primary agro-food producers, responsible for household food security and nutrition, and also represent a significant portion of the workforce in commercial agriculture. Despite women's vital role in agriculture, they often experience gender-based discrimination, which hinders the productivity, economic empowerment, and opportunities. They face barriers like limited access to credit, resources, and land rights hinders women with factors such as customary land tenure system, cultural norms, discriminatory practices, and legal framework contributes to unequal land access and control for women compared to that of men. As parliamentarians, it is our duty to dismantle these barriers and establish an enabling environment that empowers women in agriculture in the region. Guests of honor, distinguished delegate, I therefore wish to call for the adoption of gender-responsive agricultural policy to address the unique challenges faced by women in SADC agriculture, particularly smallholder farmers. Empowering women in agriculture has significant potential to improve food security, reduce poverty, and drive sustainable development. We must prioritize policy development and implementation that specifically addresses gender disparity while providing targeted financial and technical support to women farmers. Investment in gender-sensitive agricultural service, training program, and initiative promoting women, land rights, technology adaptation, and access to resources are crucial. Additionally, concerted efforts are needed to eliminate gender-based violence and discrimination to enable women full participation and benefit from agriculture. Modernizing agriculture requires investment in innovative technologies, research and development, and as we embrace the digital era, it is crucial to ensure that women are not left behind. We need to bridge the digital gender divide by promoting digital literacy and providing access to information and communication technology that can enhance productivity and market opportunity for women farmers. There is a dear need for women to be lifted and included into agricultural education up to the tertiary level. The female youth of the region must be drawn toward agricultural education such that our best minds remain in Africa to work in the modernization and sophistication of agriculture so that we can produce more efficiently in a greater way and with less labor intensiveness. Moreover, we must recognize the critical role of women in sustainable agricultural practices. Climate change pose significant threat to food security and livelihood, and women often find themselves at the forefront of climate change impact, yet they possess invaluable traditional knowledge and skills that contribute to climate resilience agriculture. Their voices in the modernization process are imperative to ensuring innovation and creation of agricultural practices that are efficient within the African climate. Therefore, we must be deliberate in supporting women's participation in climate change, adaptation, and mitigation strategies, providing them with the necessary tools and resources. Women also have the inherent potential to be agricultural entrepreneurs and to register and hold patent, trademark, and other intellectual property rights that can emanate from agricultural exploitation, including cheese manufacture, production of wine and cotton farming, to cite but a few, where modernization of agriculture can harness windfall gain. Geographical indication, which are mostly agro-products, have a specific value according to their origin, such as honey or tea, also constitute a growing field where we are yet to have several African rights holders, especially women. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, let us not forget that as parliamentarians, our role is crucial in advocating for policy reform, mobilizing resources, and fostering multi-stakeholder partnership that prioritize women's needs and aspiration in agriculture. I also wish to reiterate that gender equality is not a women's issue, but a human rights issue that calls for all of us to come together as women and men in the SADC region to foster harmonious collaboration in building a society where women and girls are empowered, their rights are safeguarded, and their voices reverberate with influence. On this note, I thank you all for your attention.
Thank you, Honorable Regina Esperon. I now invite SADC PF President and Speaker of the National Assembly of Seychelles, Right Honorable Roger Masien, to make his address. In the meantime, Oljoro JKT gets prepared.
Your Excellency, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, and our guest of honor here today, the Right Honorable Tulia Ackson, Speaker of the National Assembly of Tanzania, our gracious host, the Right Honorable Nelly Muti, Speaker of the National Assembly of Zambia, distinguished honorable speakers, heads of delegations from member parliaments and of the SADC Parliamentary Forum. Allow me to observe protocol by acknowledging all the other distinguished personalities that are with us today and that are part of the SADC PF family also, but especially those among our distinguished personalities who represent the Republic of Tanzania, the great Republic of Tanzania. It is with great pleasure and honor that I am here before you in my capacity as President of the SADC Parliamentary Forum in this beautiful and vibrant city of Arusha. I wish to start by acknowledging the gracious participation of Her Excellency, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, in the proceedings of today. On behalf of the Forum, and for my own part, I wish to commend her for her leadership, which demonstrates a robust belief also in the works of parliaments of the region. And this, I believe, underscores her commitment and belief in the existence of democracy itself. I wish to express through her the gratitude of our forum for us being welcome in Tanzania, and to that I also add appreciation to my distinguished colleague, Dr. Tulia Ackson, Speaker of the National Assembly of Tanzania, because she represents for us the people of Tanzania and the National Assembly of Tanzania, who are hosting us with so much warmth and which have made us so much welcome in Arusha. I must say, it is awesome to be in the shadow of Kilimanjaro. And I cannot but feel humbled in the presence of these momentous features of our world, even with Mount Meru, which I see from the window of my hotel. All of these remind us of our own smallness as men and human beings. But in this region also, there is a tremendous tribute that we can pay, because we are surrounded with so much reminders of the journey of mankind, the birth of mankind, and its journey to where we are today. It makes our presence in this region, country, and in the city of Arusha so much more meaningful. I believe, Honorable Speaker, colleague, that what you have done in bringing us here today demonstrates the commitment of the United Republic of Tanzania to pursue interparliamentary cooperation across the SADC region under the auspices of the forum to which we belong. But it also indicates the strong bonds of solidarity between the SADC PF and the National Assembly of Tanzania as a valued partner to the forum. As we meet here, I, of course, need to commend the outstanding female leadership, which for the first time ever in this country and probably in Africa is in charge of the eminent functions at the helm of your state institutions. I believe the Honorable Esperon will derive some comfort, at least, and some relief from her desperation about the gender gap in political leadership. Thank you. Indeed, it is not lost on me that we are holding this assembly in a country where gender equality is not just a textbook concept. In fact, equality in leadership position has been actualized for having, besides a female president and a female speaker, also a female clerk of the National Assembly, who has also provided us with so much help and welcome in her role. What it points to is that the three arms of the state are actually in the hands of women who have proved their capability to lead the country forward. The 53rd Plenary Assembly is yet another opportunity for MPs of the SADC region to meet and discuss issues of mutual interest. In particular, the Plenary Assembly serves to give us an opportunity to reflect and deliberate on how our own parliaments can advance themes discussed through the legislative oversight, budgetary and representative mandates. During the symposium, MPs will have an opportunity to deliberate on the important cross-cutting themes of agriculture, food security, and youth employment. And I must repeat my absolute respect for the Honorable Minister this morning for presenting us with a vision of what Africa can be. What Africa can be in this mission. He has underlined not only the challenges that we face, but the opportunities. And what's more, he has also shown us that behind all the words, there is a lot of action which we can take as an inspiration from this forum to our own parliament to pursue the quest for food security and youth employment. During the deliberations of this plenary assembly, members will be able to consider the thematic reports from standing committees which deal with an array of other development issues, such as public health, human and social development, investments in the region, and the control over the debt ceiling of member states. Through the tabling of reports, members will also be able to discuss government issues which affect the SADC region, such as free and fair elections and the anti-corruption framework. In addition, as my colleague, Honorable Esparon, has called for, what is important is the domestication of model laws, which is an ongoing mission which calls for parliamentary leadership and advocacy. The recently adopted model law on gender violence and the law on public financial management continue to harness domestication momentum, and our membership is requested to follow up domestication initiatives and to report thereon to this Assembly, and we will also highlight the obstacles that we have encountered and how to take our work further forward. The 53rd Plenary Assembly is endowed with a rich agenda, which will generate much heated deliberations and heightened interparliamentary engagements among our members. We keenly look forward to this Plenary Assembly adopting key resolutions which the membership will be entrusted to follow up with a respective Parliament. I wish to remind our gathering of members that the strategic plan 2019 to 23 of the forum is coming to an end. The rest of the time, the 6 months that remain for it, are therefore crucial to ensure that the forum attains its coveted objectives in accordance with this strategy. I know that the subject of the transformation of the Parliamentary Forum to Parliament is a subject that continues to occupy our minds, and I'm sure we will not lose any opportunity to see how we can take it further forward. And I here must appreciate the support that we have had from heads of state so far in bringing this mission to realization. We still have some way to go, so it is important that we continue the lobbies at all levels for the agreement of amending the SADC Treaty for this purpose. The signature of a majority of countries in this endeavor will pave the way for the protocol to be prepared and approved for signature and ratification by the SADC Summit of Heads of State and Government at the appropriate time. Fellow delegates, fellow members of Parliament, I am confident that your contributions at various levels in your capacity as members of this Assembly will ensure that the Forum achieves the noble aspirations that it has set itself for the SADC citizenry as a whole. I wish to take the opportunity to thank the people who have worked so hard to bring this event together and have done so much for its success. And I note again the contribution of the Right Honorable Speaker of Tanzania and her team for doing so much to put this together, and also our esteemed Secretary General, Ms. Buemo Segoma, who has always been ready for the work undertaken to bring us also together to prepare our agenda and to make sure that our proceedings go through smoothly. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Roger Masien. It's now time for another interlude, and I invite on stage Oljoro JKT to perform a piece that has been prepared for this occasion.
Halindwa we, halindwa. Halindwa we, halindwa we. Halindwa we, halindwa we, hoya we. Emakalinde kenelewe. Hoya we. Asema hoya lindwa we, galindwa we. Halindwa we, galindwa we. Halindwa we, galindwa. Hoya we. Ekalinde we, kenele. Haya we. Halindwa we, galindwa. Hoya we, hoya we. Asema hoya we, haurazimo. Sema hoya we, haurazimo. Hoya we, haurazi. Asema mama we, haurazimo yo we. Asema kila mtu kwa imani yake tukiombe kikao cha wabunge kwa nchi za SADC kilete maendeleo. Asema kila mtu kwa imani yake tukiombe kikao cha wabunge kwa nchi za SADC kilete maendeleo. Asema kwanza ninawasalimu kwa jina la Jamhuri ya Muungano wetu wa Tanzania. Asema mimi sina shaka naiona kazi inaendelea, maana ukipita kila kona nchini Tanzania umeshaweka alama Rais Mama Samia we. Asema jango na vigerele we, karibuni nakwambia we. Asema ndani ya miaka miwili mageuzi makubwa haki ya Mungu tumeshuhudia katika sekta ya utalii, nishati, miundombinu, maji safi na salama, elimu bila malipo na sekta ya afya. Asema hakika sekta hizi haki umezitendea we, na tunajua sio mwisho, bado unaendelea kuifanyia mazuri nchi yetu Tanzania. Pongezi nyingi za dhati leo tunakupatia, na dua nyingi za heri mama tunakuombea. Tena Mungu akupe maisha marefu na uzima wa afya. Asema Mungu akupe maisha marefu na uzima wa afya, uzidi taifa letu mama kulipigania. Asema tukija asema mawe tukiombe kikao cha bunge kwa nchi za SADC. Asema mawe kilete maendeleo cha bunge kwa nchi za SADC, kilete maendeleo. Asema leo ni leo Asema tunafahamu wabunge duniani ndio ngao. Asema tunafahamu wabunge duniani ndio ngao, mnaozifanya nchi ziwe na maendeleo. Sema mmewaza jambo jema hakika siku ya leo. Asema mmewaza jambo jema hakika siku ya leo, kwa kuamua kwa dhati kuweka hiki kikao cha kupanga mikakati ya kupunguza uhaba chakula na ajira kwa vijana wasanii. Piga vigelegele tuwape hongera zao. Asema wasanii piga vigelegele tuwape hongera zao, na tuwape burudani wasikonge nyoyo zao. Sema wetu kio Mama Samia wetu kiombe. Asema vigeregere kidogo wetu kiombe. Asema cha wabunge kwa nchi za SADC wetu kiombe kika. Haya wecha nenda upande we na turagane. Wenzangu wecha nenda upande na turagane we. Haya wecha nenda upande na turagane. Haya pole pole we, tango mwendo pole we. Mama we mama huyo we, mama we mama huyo. Sema mama we mama huyo we. Mama tena mama we, mama Samia we. Haya mama yetu we, mama yetu we. Haya mama huyo we, haya mama yetu we. Haya we mama huyo. Hongera mwanangu we, hongera na mimi baba yo we ni hongere. Sema hongera mwanangu we, hongera we na mimi baba yo we ni hongere. Haya mama uchungu nyamara mwanangu we hoye we. Sema mama uchungu nyamara mwanangu we hoye we. Mara mwanangu tumbo la udere lina, ai mama we lina umamno we. Tumbo lina umamno we. Sema lina umamno we. Asema tuondoke we, tuondoke fundi. Tuondoke we, tuondoke fundi. Asema tatizo la uhaba chakula na ajira kwa vijana, kusema kweli katika nchi zetu linatusumbua sana. Hemato washukuru wabunge jambo hili kuliona we. Asema tuwashukuru wabunge jambo hili kuliona, mpaka mukamua leo hii kukutana kuitafuta suluhu la uhaba chakula na ajira kwa vijana we. Asema mie sina shaka kwa umoja wa bunge nchi za SADC ninawaamini sana we. Asema sina shaka nawaambia inawaamini sana, kupitia kikao hii suluhu itapatikana. Asema tojo. Haya tuondoke, kwa heri we tuondoke. Sasa we tuondoke we. Sema we tuondoke mama. Waheri we tuondoke. Sema we tuondoke. Sasa we tuondoke. Sema we tuondoke. Sasa jamaa tuondoke. Haya baba tuondoke. Mama we tuondoke. Sasa mimi tuondoke. Sema we tuondoke mama. Mama Samia tuondoke.
Thank you, Oljoro JKT Group, for that wonderful performance. I now humbly invite Right Honorable Dr. Tulia Ackson, Speaker of the National Assembly of Tanzania, and host speaker to deliver her welcome remarks and introduction of the guest of honor. Right Honorable Dr. Tulia, please.
Your Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Right Honorable Roger Mancien, President of the SADC PF and Speaker of the National Assembly of Seychelles, Right Honorable Nelly Muti, Speaker of the National Assembly of Zambia, Honorable Regina Esperon, Chairperson of the Regional Women's Caucus, Honorable Musa Azan Zungu, Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly of Tanzania, speakers and presiding officers here present, members of parliament from the SADC region, honorable ministers and deputy ministers, and we are honored here to have the Minister for Natural Resources and Tourism, Honorable Mohamed Mchengerwa, and we also have the Minister for Agriculture, Honorable Hussein Bashe. Honorable members of parliament from the National Assembly of Tanzania, Honorable John Mongela, Arusha Regional Commissioner. We also have amidst us the district commissioners from the Arusha region. I recognize your presence. We also have Ms. Boyamo Segoma, Secretary General of SADC PF. We also have our own Ms. Denelwa Mwihambi, Clerk of the National Assembly of Tanzania. And I also recognize the presence of other clerks from the National Assemblies of SADC countries. We also have members of the Diplomatic Corps, religious leaders, SADC PF Secretariat, and staff from the Parliament of Tanzania, accompanying officials and spouses, the media, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, and in a special way, the choir of the National Assembly of Tanzania. And I would like to announce to you all that they are ready for hire if you need their services. First and foremost, I would like to take this opportunity to thank sincerely Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, for generously agreeing to preside over the opening ceremony of the 53rd Plenary Assembly of the SADC Parliamentary Forum. Your Excellency, we are aware of the multiple national, regional, and international demands that are competing for your precious time. However, you have spared time out of a busy schedule to come and officiate the opening ceremony of this assembly. Madam President, we are very grateful. On behalf of all of us here assembled, I thank you very much for the honor and privilege you have bestowed upon us by your presence. Indeed, your presence in our midst is a clear illustration of the trust and confidence you place in the role and importance of the representative institutions. In the same breath, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to honorable speakers, deputy speakers, delegates, members of the Secretariat, accompanying officials, as well as invited guests for honoring our invitation by coming in great numbers. I wish at this juncture to assure you that we will do what it takes to ensure that you have a comfortable and memorable stay for the 1 week that you will be among your brothers and sisters in this beautiful town of Arusha. Besides, we have put in place excellent facilities to ensure the success of 53rd Plenary Assembly. Ladies and gentlemen, the power hiccup in the morning wasn't a power issue. Thanks to Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan's good work in investing in power generation, including the upcoming 2,115 megawatts to feed the SADC countries' power needs. That said, this morning we had a symposium which was led by one of your able ministers, Honorable Hussein Basha. The symposium was about modernizing agriculture to curb food insecurity and youth unemployment. And of course, we will be talking about the role of Parliament in this topic. Your Excellency, we have lent your great commitment to this cause. The initiative that is setting trends for food security in Tanzania and SADC, but also youth employment in Tanzania and SADC. Modernized agriculture is the way to go. Your Excellency, as parliaments of SADC, we shall all be working towards ensuring that our countries in the agricultural sector do not compete but complement each other by producing what our countries are good at and trading with our neighbors, learning from each other's experience and not reinventing the wheel. The ultimate goal being ensuring food security in our respective countries and food security in SADC, but also youth employment in SADC and youth employment in our respective countries. Your Excellency, the President, distinguished delegates, the National Assembly of Tanzania is a committed member of SADC Parliamentary Forum since its inception in September 1997 in Blantyre, Malawi. Over the years, our Parliament has been honoring its obligations, including hosting the General Assemblies of the Forum. As some of you recall, we last hosted the General Assembly in 2013 here in Arusha. This is the 4th time Tanzania is hosting the SADC Parliamentary Forum. Your Excellency, I wish to take this opportunity to renew our commitment to the principles, objectives, and values for which this forum was created: respect for human rights, good governance, gender equality, democracy, and above all, sustainable development. In the same vein, we will continue to offer unwavering support to ensure this forum becomes a fully fledged regional parliament as envisaged by our founders. Your Excellency, the President, distinguished delegates, why did we choose Arusha as the venue for the 53rd Assembly of the SADC-PF? The hosting of an assembly like this in Arusha enables delegates to kill 2 birds, if not 3, by 1 stone. In the first place, Arusha enjoys excellent weather almost throughout the year, creating an ideal environment for the delegates to participate effectively in meetings. Again, this town is located midway along the Great North Road from Cape Town, South Africa to Cairo, Egypt. Your Excellency, most importantly, Arusha is primarily a gateway to our northern tourist circuit. From here, you can easily reach the magnificent Ngorongoro crater. From here, one can easily reach also Manyara National Park. From here, you can also reach Tarangire National Park. You also have Serengeti National Park, the Great, as well as the highest roof in Africa, Kilimanjaro, which is also the highest freestanding mountain in the world. So I would agree with what the President for SADC PF just mentioned. It's always good to be around this highest mountain in Africa. Madam President, the Minister for all these beauties, Honorable Mohamed Mchengerwa, is here with us and is ready for all the delegates who would like to explore and who are ready to explore the beauties that I've just mentioned. And Your Excellency, to conclude my remarks, I wish to reiterate my warm welcome to all of you distinguished delegates to Arusha. I would request you find time out of your busy schedule to sample the beauty of this land and the generosity of its people. After these remarks, I now have the distinct honor and privilege, Your Excellency, to invite you to address this august house. Madam President, you have the floor.
May we be seated, please? Thank you. Honorable Dr. Tulia Ackson, Speaker of the National Assembly of the United Republic of Tanzania, Right Honorable Roger Manchin, President of SADC PF, and Speaker of the National Assembly of Seychelles, Honorable Regina Esparon, Chairperson of the Regional Women's Caucus, Honorable Nelly Muti, Speaker of the Parliament of Zambia, Honorable Speakers and Presiding Officers here present, Honorable Members of Parliament from the SADC region and those from the National Assembly of Tanzania, Honorable Ministers and Deputy Ministers here present, Honorable John Mongela, Arusha Regional Commissioner, Member of the Diplomatic Corps, Madam Boemo Segoma, Secretary General of SADC Parliamentary Forum, Madam Nenelwa Muhambi, Clerk of the National Assembly of the United Republic of Tanzania, SADC Parliamentary Forum Secretariat, religious leaders with us here, members of the press, the choir and the entertaining groups, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. And Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania, this is how we greet the United Republic of Tanzania. We should continue working. This is how we greet. On the outset, I wish to extend a very warm welcome to you all and to the United Republic of Tanzania, the land of Kilimanjaro and Zanzibar. I hope you have traveled safely and you all are ready for the proceedings and deliberations of this 53rd Assembly of SADC Parliamentary Forum. My heartfelt thanks to the Speaker of our National Assembly, Honorable Dr. Tulia Ackson, for the honor accorded to me as a guest of honor to officiate the opening of this forum. I further extend my gratitude to you all, honorable speakers, distinguished delegates, and invited guests for your participation in this august assembly. I'm certain that for some of you, it is your first time to set foot in Tanzania, and particularly in this historic touristic city of Arusha. I can assure you, as others have said, that Arusha hosts many touristic sites, and all of them await for your exploration. So welcome to your second home, Tanzania. Karibuni sana. I would also wish to congratulate SADC Parliamentary Forum for the implementation of the strategic plan as presented here by the Secretary General of the SADC Parliamentary Forum, Madam Sigoma. Congratulations for the job well done. On the issue of gender equality and gender equity in political endeavors, allow me to call upon all women parliamentarians and professional groups to continue joining our efforts and raising our voices to call for justice to be done. This is a war long fought. Changes are seen because we presented ourselves on the battlefield in 1995, and much has changed. Without that, Samia Suluhu wouldn't have stood here today as a president of Tanzania. So certainly changes are seen, but let's continue asking for more justice to be done. I also wish to assure this gathering that my government is continuously taking affirmative actions in domesticating the SADC model laws. So the work continues, and definitely the domestication will be done, and you will be hearing from Tanzania. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, currently, agriculture is the main source of employment and, of course, income for about 61% of the SADC regional population. Therefore, this is a sector of which our government should accord appropriate attention in order to realize the SADC Vision 2050, the AU Agenda 2063, and the UN 2030 Agenda. SADC is among the regions with the youngest population in the world. As such, global prediction requires us to create up to 12 million jobs every year over the next 20 years, so as to absorb the new entrants in the labor market. So on that note, allow me to briefly inform you on what is happening in Tanzania. According to the recent statistics, the youth in Tanzania, aged 18 to 35 years, constitute 60% of the total population. It is therefore imperative that we invest in our youth. And to this end, we have devised a number of strategies to attract the youth into agriculture. What is being done? I'm sure, as it has been said here, Bashe has explained a lot this morning on what is being done in Tanzania. And for us, agriculture comprises of crop farming, aqua farming, fisheries, livestock keeping, also honey production goes in agriculture. So our government has or is extensively investing in promoting agribusiness for youth through the program named Building a Better Tomorrow. This initiative is intended to capitalize on the underutilized potential of agriculture value chain. It is a flagship program to attract youth to indulge in investing and working in agriculture. We are facilitating, as a government, we are facilitating the access to land. These youths are given land, each of them. We are facilitating the financial support, technology, market opportunity, and capacity enhancement. In the first phase, when we pronounced these opportunities, we had an overwhelming request from the youth in thousands. And in the first phase, we managed to recruit only 812 who are now on training. And when the training is over, they are going to be enrolled in 13 incubation centers for hands-on skills and going to agribusiness under block farming systems. So in the course of 8 years to come, 2022 to 2030, we invested the sector to grow by involving these youths. We envisage the sector to grow by 10% from the present 3.6% and expecting to create 1,500,000 direct youth employment opportunities. So this is where we are heading, and we have done a lot. We have increased the budget of the agriculture sector in 4 folds. We are now close to 1 trillion in this sector, trillion Tanzanian shillings. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, and the old saying goes, seeing is believing. I've learned with a sense of gratification that you will have an opportunity to visit one of our BBT Youth Incubation Centers located in Tengeru here in Arusha, just a few kilometers from here. I hope the visit will be a learning experience, an opportunity to share best practices and to help more SADC member states in the path to agrarian revolution. It is also our expectation that after your visit to the agriculture incubation centers, you will be in a position to share your ideas on how to improve our practices for an accelerated agrarian transformation. Furthermore, we have also continued to progressively increase, as I said before, budgetary allocation for the agriculture sector over the years, with special emphasis in irrigation schemes and extension services. This is in conformity with the 2004 Dar es Salaam Declaration on Agriculture and Food Security in the SADC region that requires government to allocate at least 10% of their national budgets to agriculture, as recommended by the African Union Declaration on Agriculture and Food Security in Africa. So we are trying to implement those declarations. I'm also delighted to inform you that our government has established an Agriculture Advisory Council that bears the function of advising the President on agricultural best practices and most effective approaches to expedite agricultural transformation in our country. The Council comprises of personalities with requisite skills and experience in agriculture and other sectors that tie in with agricultural development. As such, it is expected to be pragmatic and contribute significantly towards agricultural sector development in Tanzania. Distinguished members, ladies and gentlemen, in the SADC region, with a total population of about 380 million, we have about 51.3 million of food insecure people as per estimation of 2020-2021, representing an increase of 25.7% from that of 2019-2020. In just 1 year, there has been an increase of food insecure people by 25.7% in SADC region. This is unacceptable. The situation is worsened by the global conflicts and climate change that negatively impact the agricultural sector in majority of SADC countries. Yet we have a total of 9.85 million square kilometers, which could make the region a food basket for Africa and beyond, if effectively and properly leveraged. We have a vast land for agriculture, but we have to do whatever we have to do to make use of this land on agriculture or food production so that we cover the gap that Africa or SADC region is said to be hungry. A myriad of coping mechanism can make food available and accessible to everyone in the region. Such interventions might include total commitment to the implementation of the various policies and strategies that have been adopted from time to time, such as the 2014 SADC Regional Agriculture Policy, food production through input support programs, intra-SADC trade, Africa Continental Free Trade Area, blue economy and conservation agriculture to build the resilience. We are coming up with so many policy programs, but we don't implement them. So this is a time we indulge in implementing our own policies for food production. At regional and global levels, we must endeavor to commit to the implementation of Agenda 2063, particularly its goal number 5 on modern agriculture for increased productivity and production, as well as goal number 2 of the Sustainable Development Goals that intend to attain zero hunger by 2030 through achieving food security, improving nutrition, and promoting sustainable agriculture. And so, in order to overcome emerging challenges and realize our goals, we cannot underestimate the significance of national and regional parliaments. They have a critical role to play in its oversight role, enactment of the much needed laws, policies, and ratification of regional and global protocol that encourages agricultural development, but also speaking for the people whom you represent in your parliaments. So definitely, and certainly yes, our parliaments have a greater role to play in agriculture transformation. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, on another note, I wish to seize this occasion to inform you that the United Republic of Tanzania will be hosting the 2023 Africa Food System Forum under the theme Recover, Regenerate, Act. Under the theme Recover, Regenerate, Act, Africa Solution to Food Systems Transformation, which is scheduled to take place in the first week of September 2023 in Dar es Salaam. I understand that the AGRF has already started posting registration forms on its website for those who will be interested to attend. And if I may request you, please make use of the opportunity to contribute to our overarching goal of creating a self-sufficient and food-secured continent. My government extends a warm welcome to each one of you to this important continental meeting. It is our hope that it will be another platform for us to come up with practical and contextualized solutions to agriculture and food security issues. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, it is my firm belief that deliberations that will stem from your discussions will go a long way in transforming the agricultural sector in the SADC region and Africa at large. And let me join the Honorable Speaker in calling upon you, distinguished delegates, to find time out of your busy schedule to visit some of the world classic touristic attractions here in Arusha, and if circumstances permit, in other places in our country. Zanzibar and the Southern Highlands have peculiar natural features to attract tourism, so don't miss seeing them. Having said that, it is now my singular honor and privilege to declare that the 53rd Assembly of the SADC Parliamentary Forum is officially opened, and I wish you fruitful deliberations. I thank you for your kind attention, and may God bless you. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, we thank you very much for that powerful speech. And allow me now to invite Right Honorable Nelly Muti, Speaker of the National Assembly of Zambia, for a vote of thanks. And after the vote of thanks, the brass band will again lead us in singing the anthem of SADC, African Union, and the United Republic of Tanzania.
Your Excellency, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, and our guest of honor. The Right Honorable Roger Masen, President of the SADC Parliamentary Forum and Speaker of the National Assembly of Seychelles. The Right Honorable Dr. Tulia Ackson, Speaker of the National Assembly of Tanzania, and our host. Distinguished honorable speakers and heads of delegation from member parliaments of the SADC Parliamentary Forum. At this stage, allow me, honorable distinguished guests, to ride on the protocols already established for the sake of time. Your Excellency, it is with great honor and privilege that I appear before you to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the members of the SADC Parliamentary Forum during this official opening ceremony of the 53rd Plenary Assembly. Your Excellency, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, please allow me to place on record sincere thanks from the SADC Parliamentary Forum to your prestigious office, to the government, and also to the entire people of the United Republic of Tanzania for graciously accepting to host the 53rd Plenary Assembly of the SADC. We are particularly immensely grateful that Your Excellency found time out of your busy schedule to personally join us here today to grace our official opening ceremony. Your Excellency, the delegates of the 53rd Plenary Assembly, representing 11 of the 15 member parliaments of Southern Africa, have eagerly responded to the invitation from our sister, Right Honorable Dr. Tulia Ackson, Speaker of the Parliament of Tanzania, this is a testimony of the high esteem in which the region holds Tanzania and its people. We gather here this morning cognizant of the fact that Tanzania is one of the most prominent economic actors in Southern Africa and is a valued member within the SADC architecture. Your Excellency, Madam President, distinguished invited guests, the theme of the 53rd Plenary Assembly has been ably acknowledged by those who spoke before me. Allow me, nevertheless, to add my voice and reiterate that the need for Southern Africa to be food sufficient cannot be overemphasized. More so, the need to work together as a region to ensure that agriculture contributes to resolving the region's economic and social concerns, including but not limited to youth unemployment. At this juncture, allow me, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, to give a short story. I'm sure some people might have heard this story, but there is no harm in hearing it again because we learned something from this small story. It's a story involving a manufacturer of shoes in Europe. He's making a lot of shoes and he's running out of market and he has to look for other markets. So the owner of the company sends the son to Africa to say, go and sell shoes in Africa. The son travels to Africa, and lo and behold, he lands and finds that in Africa, they are not wearing any shoes. So he calls back the owner of the company and says, my director, here, there's no market here because people are not wearing shoes. So the owner of the company says, that's the opportunity. So indeed, with our growing youth population, let's not take that as a challenge. Let's take that as an opportunity. The piece by the choir from Parliament was very impressive. Let's carry that message. Let's carry that message as we go back to our homes. With the growing population, may I say growing youthful population, huge tracts of arable land, let's modernize and mechanize our agriculture and ensure that we employ the youths, we are able to feed ourselves and feed the world at large. For me, that is a message that we all have to carry back home. That is why, Your Excellency, we gather as we do today to lend the voice of parliamentarians in the hope of making a difference. In doing so, we also recognize the fundamental role that the executive continues to play. Indeed, we recognize the many efforts that SADC is making to collectively improve the lives of people of Southern Africa. In this regard, Your Excellency, our gratitude knows no bounds for the role that you personally continue to play as a leader who is attentive to the needs of the region and who explicitly recognizes the potential of Africa as a global player on the world stage. Indeed, you are an inspiration, not only to women, but to men alike. In our quest to enhance the capacity of national parliaments within the Southern African Development Community regarding the commitments and various instruments that have been developed towards regional integration and socio-economic growth, the Forum continues to explore innovative ways to address the multiple issues of regional priority. This includes the development of model laws, which legislative instruments embody human rights standards contained in various commitments made by SADC member states, and which serve as a guideline to the review of legislation where required. Your Excellency, Madam President, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am certain that I speak for all the delegates of the 53rd Plenary Assembly when I declare that Tanzania, and specifically Arusha, has made everyone feel very welcome. It is a delightful place, vested with a rich culture and a very friendly, hospitable community. I believe that I speak for all when I say thank you, Your Excellency, for this opportunity for the delegates to be in Arusha. On behalf of the forum, I wish to also extend our thanks to the Honorable Speaker and the Parliament of Tanzania for hosting us. The cost, logistics, and dedication involved in hosting such an occasion is enormous. On behalf of the SADC Parliamentary Forum, and indeed on my own behalf, allow me to simply say, obrigado. Merci beaucoup. Asante sana. I thank you.
Your Excellency, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, I now humbly request that we all stand up for the anthems. Thank you. We may be seated. Your Excellency and distinguished delegates, as we are concluding our program, I call upon Mr. Daniel Elufo to administer the photo group session. Mr. Daniel, please.
Your Excellency, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, distinguished delegates, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, we will have 7 segments of the photo session that will take place in this magnificent hall right behind the high table. I will therefore kindly request distinguished delegates and invited guests to come forward in clusters as I invite you on stage. On that note, I have now the distinct honor and the privilege to invite speakers, heads of delegations, and the Deputy Speaker, Parliament of Tanzania, to come in front, and I kindly request you to come onto the stage via this route here on my left-hand side. So the first episode of the photo session, as I have highlighted, is the speakers, heads of delegations, and the Deputy Speaker, Parliament of Tanzania. You are cordially invited. Distinguished delegates, to make this exercise as efficient and effective, we kindly request you to take off your badges and leave behind the handbags and the other. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The next group now, I will call member countries, delegates from member countries in 3 clusters. In the first place, I invite delegates from Angola, Botswana, Congo DRC, and Eswatini to come in front. Excellencies. Delegates from Angola, from Botswana, from Congo DRC, and Eswatini, will you kindly come on stage? Thank you very much. I now wish to invite delegates from Malawi, Namibia, and Seychelles. From Lesotho, Malawi, Namibia, and Seychelles to please come on stage. We kindly plead with you to exit after the photo on your right-hand side.
Kila wakili ni mwanasheria, ila si kila mwanasheria ni wakili.
Okay.
Kwa maana kwamba uwakili ni hatua ya mbele zaidi ya wanasheria. Ukimaliza tu shahada yako ya sheria unakuwa ni mwanasheria. Lakini kuwa wakili maana kuna stage nyingine ya uende kwenye shule ya sheria. Ukanolewe, umalize, ukishafaulu hapo kuna taratibu za kwenda kwa jaji mkuu, ajiridhishe sifa kwamba na sifa una maarifa ya kutosha na uadilifu wako wa kutosha, basi akishajiridhisha ndio sasa unaenda kuapishwa na kupewa namba maalum. Kwa hiyo kila wakili lazima awe na namba maalum ya utambulisho ambayo inatofautisha na mtu mwingine, na hakuna mawakili wawili wana namba inafanana.
Kwa maana hiyo basi tuna mawakili wachache kuliko wanasheria.
Mawakili ni wachache kuliko wanasheria.
Kwa tuko na wakili msomi. Kilatu. Tuko naye huyo msikilizaji, wakili msomi kabisa, na ana kesi nzito ambazo ziko mikononi mwake, na hata leo wakati tunazungumza jana kwa ajili ya kuja kuzungumza na yeye kuhusiana na kinachoendelea sasa hivi kila sehemu kwenye mitandao ya kijamii, kwenye magazeti, kwenye vyombo vya habari, ni kuhusiana na mkataba wa DP World ule wa Dubai pamoja na serikali ya Tanzania. Bunge Jumamosi wameketi na kuridhia na ukapitishwa pale bungeni kwa ajili ya kuendelea kwa hatua zingine kule serikali kuu.